Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a genuinely fascinating assessment about the economics of healthcare. We're going to unpack a specific economic theory from our source material that looks at why certain preventative treatments, stuff we literally interact with every single day, might actually be getting left behind by the modern medical system. So let's just jump right into the simple but massive question that kicks off our whole investigation today. If preventative nutrition actually works, why on earth isn't it heavily promoted, right? It's a question that honestly seems completely counterintuitive at first glance. If something is actively good for us, shouldn't it be front and center the second you walk into a doctor's office? Well, our source text argues that the answer actually has nothing to do with biology or science. It's entirely about economics. Section 1. The Preventative Nutrition Paradox. According to the assessment we're looking at, these super accessible elements have some pretty well-established power. The text explicitly states vitamins, minerals, and certain herbs can treat many diseases when taken in an appropriate dosage and frequency. And it goes even further, asserting that when used regularly as supplements in the right quantities, they can literally prevent chronic diseases from popping up in the first place. I mean, we aren't talking about some obscure, newly synthesized lab compounds here. And, the author points out that you really don't have to look far to see this. Established medical journals and prominent healthcare websites actively back the benefits of these micronutrients. They also clearly document the very real, very measurable problems that happen when our bodies are deficient in them. So the scientific foundation, according to the source, is rock solid and widely acknowledged. But that leads us to a big realization. If the science is absolutely there, where exactly is the disconnect? Section 2. The patent and funding problem. Just take a look at the sheer number of market disadvantages supplements are up against. The source argues that dietary supplements simply don't attract the funding needed for high-quality research or massive marketing campaigns. And why is that? Well, look at the list. They're generic, they absolutely cannot be patented, you can't market them as some unique, exclusive product, you can procure them pretty much anywhere, and crucially, you don't need a doctor's prescription. From a purely economic standpoint, the author says this pretty much eliminates any incentive for a big corporation to pour capital into them. So the real kicker here is the stark contrast between a medical model built on exclusive, patentable products and a nutrition model based on freely available generic substances. It's like night and day. On one side, you've got a system relying on a gatekeeper, the prescription, to access unique treatments, which creates this captive market and highly predictable revenue. But on the other side, you have preventive nutrition, which belongs to absolutely no one. The author's assessment makes it incredibly clear. The modern healthcare funding ecosystem just isn't designed to support unpatentable goods, no matter how many documented health benefits they might have. Section 3. Fixing the root cause. Now, the author points out a major disconnect when it comes to treatment. You see, the consumer market has essentially been conditioned to expect fast-acting, immediate relief from pain and suffering, which the text implies is exactly what a lot of standard medications are engineered to do. Supplements, though, they face a totally different biological reality. The source notes that they take time to work within the body. They definitely don't offer that instant gratification we're so used to. Interestingly enough, the text also mentions these nutrients can tackle multiple issues all at once. But because they require patience and consistency, they just don't fit into that highly profitable, quick-fix consumer model. But here is the absolute biggest economic hurdle mentioned in the text. A permanent fix completely eliminates repeat business. Think about it. From a strictly corporate perspective, if a product actually cures the root cause of a disease and provides permanent relief, well, it's terrible for long-term revenue. The author explicitly states that promoting these kinds of supplements could negatively impact profits for that exact reason. Section 4. The healthcare profit motive. So the source argues that easily procured disease prevention fundamentally conflicts with the profit models of hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and the insurance industry. The assessment we're analyzing is pretty blunt about this. Enhancing health and preventing disease through cheap, unpatentable means is simply not a profitable venture for these massive industries. Ironically, the real economic threat to the healthcare industry is health enhancement itself, along with disease prevention and permanent patient relief. Zero. That's a big, resounding zero. According to this economic theory, that number represents the exact amount of repeat business a perfectly healthy, permanently cured patient brings to the medical industry. When a consumer uses vitamins, minerals, and herbs to successfully prevent chronic disease or permanently treat an ailment, they drop entirely out of the medical revenue stream. And because of this dynamic, the source asserts that medical personnel and healthcare institutions are inherently discouraged from promoting preventive nutrition in any meaningful way. So we're going to leave you with this final thought to really ponder about the structure of the healthcare systems we rely on every single day. If the economic incentives of the industry are fundamentally misaligned with the goal of total, permanent health, how does that shape the treatments we're offered the second we walk into a clinic? Ask yourself, does the system need a patient or does it need a customer? Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. Keep learning and always keep questioning the structures around you.